Beautiful souls, welcome back to Soulful Conversations about healing, growth, and mental health. The space where healing meets real talk. I'm Priti, and today I'm joined by someone you'll be hearing a lot more from, my dear friend and fellow coach Renu.
Hi, Pri. Hi, everyone. We're so honored to be here with you. Pri and me have had many conversations behind the scene, soulful conversations, a little bit of banter, and I think it's time we brought some of that to you.
Yes, and today we're diving into some powerful coaching and growth topics. Whether you're in the middle of your healing journey, feeling stuck, or just craving a deeper connection with yourself, this episode is for you.
Great. So let's begin. I think let's talk a little bit about from stuck to empowered, mindset shifts that help. So, since we're talking about stuck, being stuck, I think that's something that we all go through. Don't you
Definitely.
agree? Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, sometimes it just feels like you're going around in circles, um, maybe navigating a maze. It was fun as a kid. I'm sure you agree with that. It's like you're trying to find your way out. You're trying everything that you can, but you cannot. You're just hitting these walls. And then there's this sense of helplessness that comes in, right? Like you feel helpless, you feel angry, frustrated, maybe anxious, don't know what's it gonna take really for something to shift? Who's gonna come and rescue you if that is even an option? But oftentimes you're left thinking, what else can we do? What more can we do? And but you know what? I like to look at it this way. Being stuck might just be a signal to something more. It's a sign. What do you think?
Yes, and I love that, Renu. Sometimes being stuck is the soul's whisper. Like, pause, listen, something wants your attention. And here's the truth we often forget. It's okay to be there. That space between who you were and who you're becoming, it's just so sacred. We seem to always rush through things because it has gotten so difficult for us as humans to be in the present, to, be in the now, feel our emotions and think through challenges. And I've had so many foggy seasons, that helped me. And what helped me wasn't some magical fix. It was tiny mindset shifts, like um, changing. I have to get through this to, I get to discover something in this. This is definitely teaching me something. Even asking myself, what is this moment here to teach me? So all of these shifts actually shifted a lot in me.
Yeah, and I think it takes time to kind of like recognize these shifts. It's not easy. I like to think of being stuck again as quicksand. You're trying to get out, but the more you try, the deeper you go. But, I often wonder what it is like to just be curious about the situation and maybe just move from that self-judgment to a space of being a detective,
Interesting.
right? So when I feel stuck and I'm overwhelmed, there are a few things that I've started to do now that I think have really helped. I let myself feel sorry for myself, really. It's okay. It's natural. You can't go from feeling frustrated to snapping out of it in a minute or so. It takes a little bit of time, but not too much time. Give yourself like maybe, like for me, I think I give myself about half an hour.
Okay.
And then, and then I try and then I ask myself, what do I really need? Like, what do I really need? What am I feeling right now? So if I feel like angry, what does that mean? And then I'm like, okay, what can I do different? Yeah, I can be angry all the time, sure, but how's that going to help? How about I try to shift this a little bit? Go out for a walk, maybe pick up the phone and talk to a friend and like really be like, oh my gosh, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, blah, 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 blah. Or like eat something that's nourishing, giving myself a hug, whatever, I can think of at that time. So just shifting from that feeling of being angry or frustrated to doing something that's totally different and totally opposite. And then once I do that, I realize that, okay, I'm calming down now. So, when I feel like more calm, feeling, I may not necessarily feel happy, but at least I'm not as angry as I want to feel. So after that, I ask myself, what is this situation really trying to tell me? Is there something I need to learn from it? Um, can I turn this into something else that I will maybe be a gift or an opportunity? Again, these are questions that I just reflect on. And I don't always get a solution, but I do get like some things pop up. And when those things pop up, I write it down.
Okay.
I write it down, let it be. Again, give myself some time, maybe a day or two, then go back to everything that I've written. And then I look at it and be like, okay, can I try something from this? Can I try something? And let's see how that goes. And you know what? Even if I don't try something out of that list, I noticed that by that time, my perspective has shifted. So I think it's these small, loving shifts that really help. What are your thoughts on it?
I firstly thank you for sharing, your practical tips that you have been using for so long, and most of these resonate with me as well. And I have to agree. Mindset shifts are invitations and not obligations. You don't have to change everything. Just shift the lens. And with that, now let's talk about holding space, one of the most sacred things in coaching. And when someone truly holds space for you, it feels like you're finally allowed to exhale, like no fixing, no pressure, just presence. And as a coach, I've learned that the most healing thing I can offer is stillness, listening to you, witnessing your growth, or wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you're feeling, and supporting you.
Yeah, I mean, I resonate with everything that you just said. Like it's such a gift, it is a gift. Um, Sometimes all you need is just that space, and a coach can give that to you. Holding space just means it's okay. I'm right here for you. I'm ready to meet you where you are. Take your time if you need and come back. That's what it is. Like there is no agenda. It's that space. That space is meant for you.
And I love that, and sometimes we also need to learn how to hold space for ourselves, to sit with, your own discomfort without rushing to like solve it. And okay, so what does it really mean to hold space for yourself, right? Listening to your body without judgment when it says, I'm tired, allowing yourself to cry, journal, be silent, or rest without needing to explain or justify it. Not forcing positive thinking when your soul just wants to, feel things, not going for the toxic positivity and stuff.
Okay.
Um, Saying not right now to the world, so you can say, I hear you to your heart, and making room for your truth, even when it's messy or unresolved.
That's so beautiful. It really is beautiful. And I resonated with that. I'm tired because I am tired today. Uh, you
I'm here
know,
to
uh,
support you.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
So now let's move on to another small snippet of what coaching is. Coaching isn't fixing, it's supporting. One of the most common misunderstandings is, what we see when we mention the word coaching is that people expect, or you just assume that a coach will kind of swoop in like a hero. A coach has all the answers, coach will give you the solution, and everything will kind of fix itself. Yeah. But the truth is, We're not here to fix. And you know why? Because there's nothing to fix, really. You're not broken. You're this whole person, really. We all are. Yes, sometimes, we're stuck. We don't know what's happening, and that's okay. That's part of being human. This is not a project.
Yeah.
It's about you, really. And when you come to a coach is someone who's just reminding you that you carry your own box of wisdom within you. You have your strengths, and you can basically do whatever you want as long as you want it. It's about you wanting it, and you can make it happen. That's what it is. It's not about prescriptions. It's not about diagnosis. It's just being present. We are here to give you that presence so you can really, really feel safe enough to explore your thoughts, your beliefs, be vulnerable, and have that trusting relationship with a coach. That's it. It's about your values. It's about rediscovering and growth. What do you think of this, Pri?
I love that. I love the way you explained what coaching really is and is not. And I'm totally on board with you, Renu. Coaching is providing support, being a guide. It's almost like holding up a mirror, not handing out a manual, like, okay, this is what you do. No. When someone says, you help me find myself again, I know I've done my job. Not because I gave them the answers, definitely not, but because I gave them the space to remember who they were all along. And coaching is more about asking powerful questions, open questions instead of giving direct advice, like reflecting back what we see and hear. Sometimes, for the first time, our clients feel seen and heard. And oh my God, that blows my mind every time. And I'm so thankful and grateful that I can do that. Trusting that the client holds wisdom within them, they are their own expert. And, even when they have doubt in themselves, sitting with discomfort, not rushing to move past it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the beauty of it, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's like your coach is your mirror, not exactly your mirror, but it's like the coach is holding up a mirror for you. So you get to see yourself more clearly. And in that process, you learn to love yourself, right? Um, yeah, that's all. I think coaching is absolutely beautiful when you experience it with the right person.
Yeah.
Right. I think let's talk about something else, another little small snippet we have for you here today, and it's about growth. Growth, growth not being linear, and how you can honor your space and pace it.
Yes.
You know, growth. Often when you think about growth, you think of a staircase that's just going up and up and up and up. And that's so misleading. And that's so not true. Because growth really is about taking a step forward, going two steps backwards, and then again moving forward. It's not always about succeeding. It's about learning that it's okay to try different things. It's okay to make mistakes, pick up, and move forward. That's what growth is all about. And then when I think about growth, I also think about what comes to my mind is pace, honoring your pace.
Yeah.
And what does that look like, really? Some of the things that come to my mind is taking a break because your nervous system really needs it. It needs that rest, like from those thoughts that are constantly like fleeting through your mind. Um, it's trying to tell you something. Rest up. Celebrating your tiniest win. I think that's so important. When was the last time you actually celebrated just waking up in the morning, getting out of the bed? I think that's, we forget, don't we? We often take those things for granted, like the small, tiny things. Being kind to yourself when you've had a really rough day, really being kind to yourself. Pausing on a project or something that you're doing because you realize that your heart really isn't into it and you're just pushing because you think you need to finish it. Letting go of those timelines because you're afraid that, or you fear that somebody else is going to take over or, like, go faster than you, or saying that I'm doing my best. Like, that's what I can do right now and it's okay, it's enough. It's basically, pacing is finding what works for you, really, at the end of the day. Honoring your own beliefs and values, understanding how much you can really give, giving yourself that permission to heal in your own time, to slow down, to grow in your own way, and to succeed in a way that you see fit.
Yeah, totally. Totally makes sense. And I definitely same page, growth isn't linear. It spirals, it pauses, it circles back, and that's okay. Sometimes you revisit old wounds, not because you're failing, but because you're meeting them at a deeper level. We all grow in seasons. Some are blooming seasons, some are composting seasons. Both are sacred, both are important. There's this notion of constant growth, the idea that healing is this upward staircase, as you mentioned. Some days, but I don't believe that's true. Some days you'll feel so grounded, peaceful, and inspired. And the next you might feel like you're back at square one. And I know I am witness to that. I have experienced that, I still do. But the important part is to be aware of what's happening within you and to give yourself grace and compassion. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means you're human. And how interesting that makes everything, you know. So, yeah, every loop is this spiral that is deeper, that has deeper insight, more self awareness, a gentler relationship with yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shall we talk about motivation right now? Like a
Yeah.
little bit about motivation and how that, like, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes it fades, but it's about showing up. Bree, do you ever feel like you're dragging yourself?
I do sometimes.
Yeah. That feeling of being overwhelmed, like
Yeah.
a weight maybe that you're carrying around, exhausted,
Yes.
boredom.
I think, I guess we all do at some point.
Yeah, we do. I mean, like, I'm feeling it today that I have to push through the day,
Yeah.
make some decisions, check things off the list, like the long list. I mean, I think it's never ending, honestly. But you know what? I think both of us agree that it's okay. It's okay. Motivation is all, it's not like you all will always have the motivation to do something. Some days it's just not there, and that's the truth. It really is the truth. Sometimes it's just not to be found. It's nowhere to be found, actually.
And that's such a real, authentic part of our journeys, right? And something we remind our clients often is that motivation is fleeting, but commitment is sacred. When the energy isn't flowing and everything feels hollow or heavy, those are the days when grace steps in. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just show up. Even 1% better each day makes a huge difference. Breathe, take one small step at a time. I've had mornings where getting out of bed was the win of the day, and that counts for me. Definitely.
Absolutely. Like the moment you said it, it kind of like hit like it's a light bulb that kind of popped because that's how I felt today.
Yeah.
Really. Like it was a task and a chore for me, but then I managed to do it and I managed to at least, make sure that the kids got to school on time. So that was like, yeah, but I was pushing myself. So here you have a live example. Like, I'm not motivated at all today, and it's okay. It totally is okay. I'm gonna throw in a fun fact. I,
Love it.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm a little nerdy when it comes to that. I like fun facts. So I like, you'll see me throwing in one or two sometimes. Dopamine. Dopamine, that feel-good hormone that affects how your brain decides if your goal, if something that you're working on is really worth it or not. There you have. So don't you think you have an answer right there? So it's not me, really. I'm not responsible for the way I feel like that. It's just that my dopamine is low. So I'm gonna blame dopamine today.
Okay. Yes.
You know, um, just be kind to yourself, honestly. When you feel low and you're lacking that motivation, when it feels like a drag, get outdoors if you can. I'm gonna try to do that. It's just really cold outside, but I'm gonna open the window. At least that's better than freezing. Um, Meditate if you can. Jump up and down. I think I've seen that help. Kids do that when they do that, they feel a happy high immediately.
Mm,
So if you can do that, great. Delegate, another great thing that I feel like, especially as women, we don't do. We don't delegate or ask for help.
yeah.
Eat something that's really nourishing. Um, Something like a whole food if you can. Something warm. Um, Basically, just do something that you feel good about that really makes you feel good. And remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Take care of yourself, heal yourself at your own pace. Take it slow. And remember, it's not a race. Really, it's not a race.
And let's not forget, rest is a part of the process. Rest is healing. So, what helps us show up anyway? It's learning how to build tiny rituals, loving anchors that keep us connected, even when the fire feels low. Like
Mhm.
a 5 minute check in with yourself in the morning, writing one line in your journal instead of a full page, simply showing up to your creative space or healing work, even if you do less.
Great ideas. Wonderful. Um, I'm going to take the checking in with myself for today.
Yeah.
And I think it's also reminding yourself that I don't need to do this perfectly. I just need to be here with myself, really. And when we shift the goal from doing it all to being present with whatever we are doing and whatever we can do, everything just softens. You begin to build a life that holds true meaning for you when motivation doesn't.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And as we wrap up this beautiful conversation, Renu, I'd like to close with an affirmation that comes to mind. So here it goes. Even when I don't feel ready, I trust I am becoming. Even when I don't feel motivated, I choose to stay connected. My gentle presence is enough. So if you're in a slow season, if the fire feels dim, just know you don't need to be on fire to keep walking. You definitely don't. You only need to be with yourself, one breath, one step at a time.
Yeah. Thank you, Pri, for sharing this. I'm going to remind myself to be with myself one step, one breath at a time. Even showing up 20% is still showing up.
Yeah.
Remember, just be you. All right, I think we're coming to a close to our session. We're so honored to walk this path with you. Thank you for listening. If this conversation resonated with you or anyone that you think might benefit from it, please do share it. And just a small reminder, if you want to explore any of these themes more deeply, let us know. Drop in the comments, DM us, and send us a little love. We'd love it. We all need love.
Okay. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and keep showing up for yourself. Lots of love.
Bye.